Jam! Hello again and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Monday Night Magic here on the MTG Cast Network. I am Chewie, and this is episode 613 of Monday Night Magic. It's like that number goes up every week.
I think there's a trend that might be a conspiracy. Tell you what, we'll get the tinfoil hats and we'll look for a pattern. And if we can find one, alien.
Because I'm not saying it was aliens.
No, I would never say it.
But it was aliens. So, yes, I am Chewie, and that's Bill.
Hi.
Or Squee, if you prefer.
I go by many names, but not as many as, say, Eric.
If you're nasty, like Mr. Squee, if you're nasty, is that...
that sounds weird.
Some Janet Jackson reference for the kids.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll enjoy that as they listen to, all of their music. Kids do that, right? They still listen to music. It's not some weird optical thing now, right?
Dude, I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I've heard about, what's it called? Spotify? I thought that was a stain remover.
Yeah, you spray that on spots.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise you have spots, and you don't want those.
Yeah, it's like zombies on your lawn.
Not my lawn. I'm not old enough to tell them to get off it, but I will stare at them until they feel uncomfortable and leave.
Speaking of telling people to get off the lawn, Cluze is again not with us this week. Not because...
Nor is he on his lawn.
True. Not because he... What happened last week? He was sick? Yeah, not because he's sick and miserable, but because he is off vacationing with the lovely wife.
So if you've been waiting for your chance to get on his lawn unaccosted, this is your time.
It's true. Get there.
Don't tell him we said you could, because I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying this is the time.
No. Not at all. So yeah, since Cluze isn't here, we have Legacy News, because that's how things work.
Yep.
But I guess we should talk about that first, huh? So...
Yeah, probably.
Today, timely news, July 2nd, the Banned and Restricted update happened...
Dun dun dun.
And Goblin Chain Whirler was not banned because that would be dumb.
Correct.
Nothing was banned from Modern because that would be dumb.
Also correct.
But then in Legacy, some things were banned. And from all of the people speculating about what might be banned, I didn't see... one of these at all, and the other one I only saw from the people that have been baying for it forever. So yeah, in Legacy, Deathrite Shaman and Gitaxian Probe are both banned.
Which one do you want to tackle first?
Well, I mean, in alphabetical order, it's Deathrite Shaman.
Okay. Because if we went by converted mana cost, we'd have to have a talk.
It's true, yeah. So Deathrite Shaman is... the best one-mana planeswalker ever, even though it's ostensibly a creature.
Sorry, Kidian.
Yeah, it's more of a planeswalker than he is.
Yeah.
And it's all over the place. In fact, the version of Delver that has popped up the most, since the last upheaval, whatever that was in Legacy... has been the Grixis Delver version that runs, Deathrite Shaman. You remember when there used to be like 4 or 5 versions of Delver all the time?
Yeah.
And then it just slowly coalesced into Grixis Delver with an occasional teamer.
Well, a lot of the extra power that previous versions of Delver had were being able to just way much heavier on the blue, because there were a lot of really powerful blue tools to play with, and you could just run Delver as your beat stick while doing other blue stuff. But over time, some of the blue tools have fallen away. Some of them aren't as efficient as they were before in the face of other threats. And so they also just had more time to really consolidate a deck that has main board Graveyard Hate. That also fixes your mana. That also gains your life. This card does a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's already...
It's hard to argue against it.
I mean, it's already banned in Modern. So... that should tell you something.
Yeah. Well, how we talk about whenever you get a Legacy tournament and one of the graveyard strategies wins, it's like, everyone forgot their hate that weekend.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to worry about forgetting your hate when you're running Deathrite Shaman. Like, you have it. You have a Swiss Army knife in your main. You've probably got 4 of them if you're running it, and it's just a really good card.
Yeah, so what they said in the write-up here... In recent snapshots of the environment, Grixis Delver showed a 55% non-mirror match win rate against the field. Which is, considering how wide the field is in Legacy, that's pretty good.
It is a very wide field and is a very powerful field. So someone who can, like, breaking 50% on such a regular basis is going to catch attention.
Yeah, at GP Birmingham, 11 of the top 16 decks used 4 copies of Deathrite Shaman, including 5 of the top 8. So
some kind of legacy chain world.
Yeah, they say when the most popular deck in an environment is also among the most winning decks with a win rate significantly above 50% over a long period of time, we investigate. And they've decided that Deathrite Shaman is in fact a problem. But because it's seeing, let's see, the final paragraph is, while a card seeing lots of competitive play doesn't by itself necessitate action, in this case we also see a reduction in diversity in the environment, an inability for the metagame to adjust, and a dominant strategy that's particularly hostile to rogue decks and innovation. For these reasons, Deathrite Shaman is banned in Legacy.
I'm on board with that rationale.
Yeah, that all seems pretty good. The fact that it is that powerful and it's incidental graveyard hate is that's all ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to banning cards in Magic, you usually do it because it reduces diversity in the environment or because it makes the game miserable while also not helping. And this is definitely falling into that first category.
Exactly. So the other, hang on, wrong link. The other one is Gitaxian Probe.
I hate Gitaxian Probe.
I still haven't figured out how this has made it this long.
Yeah. Like, I hated Gitaxian Probe when it was printed in Standard.
Yeah.
I was very happy when it rotated out. Cluze has a giant soapbox of hating the entire color of blue. I don't have that many cards that I hate, but Gitaxian Probe is definitely one of them. And my reasoning for hate it is the simple fact that you could run it in any deck, and you were pretty much incentivized to because it lets you run a 56-card deck, since it cycles essentially for nothing. And because when it's available in a format and it's heavily played, nearly every game you play is going to begin with, okay, show me your hand, I'm now going to write down all the cards in it, which takes time. And then as you're playing, 1 or 2 more times, it'll be, show me your hand, I'm going to write down all the cards in it. And it just takes time. It takes away an entire element of the game, which is the ability to bluff or the ability to, hide stuff. And because you draw a card, there's practically no cost to running it.
Yeah,
it's not really color locked.
2 life very rarely matters.
Your lands are going to do that much damage to you. You don't sweat that. And, it's a card that, simply put, it takes away a lot of the fun of the game. But beyond just the fun part, having that much information about your opponents
for free
is a very powerful thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't play with hidden hands. A big part of the game is trying to guess what your opponent has based on the information you're given and play accordingly. Yeah. And these are in formats that, that's annoying in any format. But this is a format that can also take advantage of zero-cost spells.
By the way, we should also point out that, hey, guess what? It's already banned in Modern as well.
Yeah.
Primarily because if I remember correctly, which I only sort of do, it was because of its inclusion in decks like Infect, where you could just, hey, I either win right now if you have a thing or I don't. Here, let me pay 2 life to see if I win right now.
That's unfair. And I mean, that's true, though. When you're playing on an all-in kind of deck, where, one play matters, and you can just freely confirm, that sort of takes a lot out of the game. I think that a card that does what it does, that always costs a blue mana, it probably wouldn't see play. It's the fact that you can cast it for free because Phyrexian mana is eternally broken is the problem. And again, 2 life is for free when you're playing these kinds of decks.
It's true. So they looked at Standard as well. Oh yeah, we should probably talk about what they actually said about the Gitaxian Probe. It's a main component of the two most played Legacy decks on Magic Online, Grixis Delver, again, and Ad Nauseam Tendrils.
They like that Legacy has a heavier focus on spellcasting and cards in hand compared to permanents on the battlefield, as it provides a different type of play experience compared to other formats that some players deeply enjoy. Gitaxian Probe undermines this philosophy by removing some of the psychological and bluffing aspects of gameplay, and gives proactive decks a strong advantage by knowing when and how to play around traditional answers to their strategies like counterspells and permanent removal. So, I think that's a very succinct way to say the problem.
Yeah. So, even though Gitaxian Probe isn't the problem, it is a significant portion of, or part of why these decks might be pushing against the limits of how powerful they want a single deck to be. So, in an effort to downscale the power level without destroying the deck, they're just removing the Gitaxian Probe, and there you go.
And that is admittedly the best way to ban cards if you're going to do it. Is you don't want to kill archetypes, you just want to make them less consistent.
Right.
And they've done that time again. Plus, we get to ban a common from Legacy. That's always fun.
So, there you go. Now, they looked at Standard, and, because, as you know, everyone was calling, of course, because every time there's a Pro Tour, some card has to be singled out for cries for banning, because, I don't know, Magic
Every
players...
format needs a whipping boy.
Yeah, because Magic players are stupid, I guess, is all I got for that. Anytime a deck does well, it deserves to be banned, apparently. But they're looking at the win rates of all the decks in Standard, and they're finding that Black-Red Aggro has a 51.9% win rate, and it's labeled here Hazared, so the Mono-Red Aggro decks have a 49.9% win rate. So yeah, that's terrible. Oddly enough, the Green-Black Steel Leaf decks apparently have a almost 56% win rate.
I saw that and was entertained.
But you don't ever hear anybody talk about those.
I mean, I like to joke about the fact that we don't see green in the top 8 ever, but maybe we should. Like the decks that are running green and black are doing better than the ones running red.
Are you noticing that too?
Like Green-Black Snake, which is normally a Constrictor deck, right? But we're calling it Snake here.
This is, what does he say? This is automatically clustered by archetype through a computer algorithm, not manually categorized. So,
And it put the word snake on it?
Yeah.
You notice how all of the rest of these float around like aggro and control, but then you get flash is like, okay, that's a mechanic. That's cool.
Well, I'm sure
Hazared, it came up with somehow.
I'm sure someone gave them the initial
I'm sure
to place things in.
But I want to think that this is actually the early signs of a Robo Rosewater situation. like the machine has learned snake and now it will use the term. You will randomly hear words like snake and leaf in other contexts as it slowly gains sentience and destroys us all.
As long as it doesn't learn the word mise, I think we'll be fine.
Oh, that's true. And as long as it can't read flavor text.
Exactly.
Or reminder text, was it? Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
but either way, like the green decks seem to be doing okay here, so keep that in mind before you bring the torches to the red deck.
Yeah, but like at the Pro Tour, the Chain Whirlers were the boogeyman, and then I think at the next Standard GP they were too.
Mm-hmm.
But they're starting to lose ground.
But
yeah, they're starting to lose ground to the control decks, as we saw at the last GP. There's still a significant chunk of the meta, but I don't think that being a large percentage of the meta just means lots of people want to play it.
Yeah.
The data itself suggests that the win rates are not all that, so...
There's also a note in here that a lot of the power of current red decks comes from last year's cards that are going to go away soon. Hazaret, Glorybringer, Chandra, Torch of Defiance, Bomat Courier, Abrade. All these cards are going to go away in 3 months. So it's probably okay. And also, I'll just give you a hint with my knowledge of the future. red, red, red may not be as popular of a combination when we go back into the world of guilds. Odds are you're going to see more of those 3 and 4 color nonsense decks. So I don't think the triple red's going to be quite as easy in a few months.
Not to mention a lot of the other cards in the mono red decks are going away.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. It's like we get to discover a metagame as it evolves.
So there you go. That's the thing.
Yeah, nothing was banned in Vintage. I know you're not surprised.
Yeah, nothing was restricted in Vintage either.
No, definitely nothing was banned, and also nothing was restricted. Prismatic Stairwell remains untouched.
Oh, God. Shut up.
That's my favorite go-to dumb format. Sounds like an anime.
Anyway, and you would know, so yeah.
We want to talk about real tournaments?
I suppose, yeah. Let's talk about Grand Prix Barcelona.
Okay.
Because that happened this weekend.
It did.
It did. It was modern.
Modern.
What is this?
1,547 people modern.
That's a pretty respectable number.
Yeah.
I apparently did not actually open the deck list, or if I did, I navigated away from it. Yeah, here we go. So who won? Maddie Quisma? Maddie won.
Good job, Maddie.
What was Maddie playing? Dredge. So, that's a thing.
As you do. Shriekhorn.
Only partially actually playing Magic.
I'm entertained whenever I see Shriekhorn in a deck.
It's such a weird card.
Yeah, it's just a weird card. It's not even a comment of good or bad. It's just like the entire concept of, what does that horn do? It screams all the time. Do you have to blow in it? No, it just does this.
Only 3 times, though.
That's enough. You're deaf.
What? How
many times?
In second place, Luis Del Toro is running Clan Ironworks, which has been slowly moving up in popularity over the last few modern tournaments. Third place, I hope these are in order. Okay,
so
they
far
appear to be. Javier Dominguez is running Jeskai Control, like you do. Oh, there's Teferi and the legendary Planeswalker slot. I hope they fix that sometime soon.
I think they're just waiting on the stats.
But it's modern. Like, that's not going to fix the problem.
I didn't say this was a good plan on their part.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they're going to need to fix that for the Eternal formats.
Lord, let's see here. In fourth place, Maxence DeRoy, let's say, is running Grixis Death Shadow. So that's... Yeah, you remember when this was the boogeyman? Huh.
Yeah, that was good times.
In fifth place, Nick Waugh is running Burn. Cluze would be happy. We didn't... Oh, I need to... Okay, after we're done with this, we'll go back to Cluze on the Legacy bans.
Yeah, we'll have to... Maybe we'll pull him in when there's a Legacy tournament or something.
Okay, yeah, that'll work. Because he sent us a pre-recorded message.
Yeah.
Daniel Ballaston in sixth place is running a white-blue control deck with Jace the Mind Sculptor, who, oddly enough, did not get banned from Modern, even though he has completely destroyed the format, as per predictions.
But he's also not allowed to hang out with the legendary Planeswalker, who has gone to the far other end of the deck in this deck list.
I really hope they fix that.
My favorite part is that the auto card shows legendary Planeswalker Jace because of the most recent printing of it. So there's very little excuse whatsoever.
Oh, it's sad. In seventh place, Pierre... Whoa. Excuse me, it scrolled. Pierre Dagan is running another white-blue control deck. And in eighth place, Laszlo Porosky is running another white-blue control deck.
Oh, man, you think this would be a problem if they banned Get Probe? Probably still a problem, huh?
I hate you so much. So let's go see if there's a metagame breakdown. Oh, there is. Let's
Whoa,
see.
That's a cool trophy. Sorry, that's how my brain works.
Okay, so who did this? Toby Hinkie he got 200. He got to 200 of the day 2 deck lists out of I don't actually know how many, but it looks like Tron was about 12% of the metagame. Humans was about 11%. White blue control 8.5. Jeskai control 6.5, and from there it's 6% and below. But the list just goes on with stuff like Martyr of Sands down at 1% and Blue Red Breach. Things that you wouldn't expect. Ponza. So yeah, nothing was banned in Modern because Modern seems alright. A lot of people all of a sudden in the last few weeks have been hating on Tron. Like on social media. Calling for various things to be banned from Tron. And I'm like, isn't that the easiest deck to hate on?
Considering we're about to get a card that costs a mana and stops Tron in the next set, I think we'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Nice Modern tournament in Barcelona.
Scroll up on that page and check out that cake, though.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool cake.
When I saw it, I thought it was a trophy, and it got way better when I realized I could eat it.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. Go to the top stories of GP Barcelona to know what the hell we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. All right, so SCG?
Sure.
SCG was
in Atlanta.
Oh, there's your problem.
At the corner of Peachtree and Peachtree.
Across the street from Peachtree.
You can get there by taking the MARTA to Peachtree Station, I'm sure.
I'm sorry, Marta. That's anyway. So it was an open in Atlanta. It was Modern. 711 people playing. And wait, is this the open? This is the open. Yes. Zan Syed won the whole thing playing Infect because monster. Drake Sasser was playing Titan Shift in second. A Hollow One made third by Chad Harney. Tannen Grace was playing Mono Green Tron in fourth. Thomas Mathers playing Ironworks combo in fifth. Tony Houston Norton in sixth place with a blue-white control deck. Robert Mendoza in seventh playing Burn. And Adam Case also on Mono Green Tron to round out the rest of the top 8. If we look past that, we've got Humans, Jund, Jeskai Control, Amulet Titan, 2 more Jeskai Control, Decepticons, or Affinity if you must, Green-Red Land Destruction in 16th. What? Stop that. Let's go to the metagame breakdown from day 2 here. 4 Humans, 4 Jeskai Control, 4 Decepticons, 4 Mono Green Tron, 4 Infect, 3 each of Ironworks combo, Grixis Death Shadow, Burn, Blue-Red Gift Storm, and Blue-White Control. And from there, it's lots of 2s and even more 1s. So yeah, Modern is, seems good.
Does Affinity normally run New Karn?
I think since he was printed, he has popped up here and there in it.
Yeah. Well, I was looking over it because it does have a Thoughtcast, but that's usually not enough to call it Affinity. But then I saw that they had Karn, and I'm like, oh yeah, Karn's there too. It's nice. I would just like to point out that it has more cards with Battle Cry than it has cards with Affinity. So it's now a Battle Cry deck.
Wow, it does.
Also more cards with Modular 1.
Yeah, there's a whole mess of cards with Metalcraft, but is it Metalcraft? No, we call it Affinity because we like hanging on to crap that gave us nightmares when we were children.
That's fair.
Why don't we name a deck Artax Dies?
Aww.
If you want to dredge up horrible things from your past.
Do you want to just start calling Dredge that?
Aw. Poor Dredge.
You probably could.
And if you're old enough to get that joke, I'm so sorry to have brought that memory back up, but...
You just made someone sitting around at work go, aw, horsey. And if you don't know, like, it's not going to mess with you because you're probably too old to care at this point.
Probably.
But it was very memorable for children of a certain age. And that movie was mean. Let's move on.
Yes, let's do that. So... Nope. Is this the open? This is the open. Okay, I don't want the open. So this is the modern... No, that's a deck. Hang on. Here we go. Here's the classic. I have too many tabs open. The modern classic had 249 people. And Robert Benson won with Jeskai Control. Imagine that. William Gentry in second with a green-black Tron. Zach Stern on Humans in third. Matt Jones on Scapeshift in fourth. Randy Stokes in fifth with a red-green Tron. Philip Lauren in sixth with a blue-white Control. There's a mono-green Tron in seventh by Stephen Ashford. And an Ironworks combo in eighth by Sean Belisle. The rest of the top 16, Grixis Death Shadow, Humans, Mardu Pyromancer, Humans, John to Jeskai Control, Infect, Mardu Pyromancer. What?
I just saw the red-green Tron, and I'm like, what red does it run again? And it's like, it's running Kozilek's Return, but probably not casting it. And it's technically not red.
Ah. But it does have Grove of the Burnwillows in it, so
yeah.
Boom.
Get there.
Get there. I mean, I guess you could cast it if you need it early.
I mean, you could, if only to get it in your graveyard, but...
Anyway.
Yeah.
I apparently have hiccups. Then there is a classic.
A legacy classic.
Which I have too many tabs open. Had 89 people playing.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, let's see here. Zachary Koch in first place running Grixis Delver, which has how many newly banned cards in it? A full 8? A full 8.
Full 8. 4 Get Probes, 4 Deathrite Shaman.
Ouch. Second place, Ulrich Piepke?
Piepke, sure.
Sure. Running Storm, the ad nauseum version, with the 4 Get Probes.
Yep.
Whoops. Third place, Michael Howe, running Teamer Delver, which has, oddly enough, none of the above. Hey, look at that.
Okay.
Fourth place, Tyler Hatchell, running Ad Nauseam Tendrils, which means Get Probes.
Yep.
Fifth place, Brandon Morgan, running Miracles, because he didn't get the memo that the top had been stopped, and you should stop that now.
Mm-hmm. Not getting that memo got him to 5th, so hey.
Although, wait. I guess this is fine, because I don't see Counterbalance.
Nope.
It's actually Miracles like the mechanic, as opposed to the mechanic with Counterbalance and Screw You.
Yeah, it's really just running Terminus, isn't it?
Yeah, looks like it.
I don't think it has any other ones in the main. Or in the board. Yeah, it's just running Terminus.
Wait, did the fifth place one have... Nope. Well, there you go then. I guess we're still calling it Miracles because we like to hang on to deck names that cause us pain.
The Nothing. This is now the Nothing.
Exactly. In seventh, Bradley George is running Loam Pox, which has none of the newly banned things.
Though in its favor, it has both Loam and Pox, so its name is legit. Good job, deck.
Very much so, yes. And then in eighth place, Christopher Miner is running Maverick, which has Deathrite Shamans... Just 3? Yeah, just 3.
Evidently only 3.
So there you go. A lot of these decks are going to either change or disappear?
I suspect they will change a little. I am not familiar enough with the card pool available in Legacy to make a guess as to what will take these slots, but I think it will be interesting to find out.
Yeah, and even our resident Legacy person, were he here, I don't know if he is that deep in the format to be able to...
Yeah, like, saying what's going to replace Deathrite Shaman is hard because of the so many roles that it plays.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I guess it would depend on which of its roles you were leaning the most on. And then if the card that you would be replacing it with to fill that role isn't a significant hit by comparison to something else you could put in to just shore up other weaknesses instead. So this is where the actual deck tuners are going to shine.
Oh, yeah.
This will also probably punish people a little bit more for leaning in on the power of Deathrite Shaman or leaning in too hard on Gitaxian Probe, letting them do what would normally be a reckless play. So this is probably going to be interesting for Legacy in general. I look forward to seeing what happens in the plethora of Legacy events that do not exist.
Oh,
the SCG tournaments will make it interesting, though, right?
True. Like, I wonder how much the 4-color Leovold deck will be able to maintain without Deathrite Shaman.
That might be tough.
And
thus we bring back the birds.
So with that, Cluze has a brief message. By the way, the reason Cluze isn't here, like I said, he is on vacation with the lovely wife. They are scuba diving in, where is it? Bonaire? Bonaire. Like they do, I think every year, or at least close to it.
Yeah, it's like Conair, but French.
Yeah, like he's done several times in the past. So hang on, let me insert that now. All right, short and to the point. Thanks, Cluze.
I appreciate how concise he is when he's underwater.
Right? So, all right, that was Legacy. That's why we brought Cluze in. Okay.
Yep.
So there was another tournament thing. This is the first week of Nationals.
Yeah. In case you've forgotten, Nationals was spread out over 3 weekends this year, with different countries participating on different weekends, and the USA was June 30 to July 1.
Yeah, which means that, as we pointed out back when they first announced this, Nationals is going to be spread across 2 different formats. Like the pre-core set standard and then the post-core set standard.
Yeah.
Which is really just odd, but...
It is strange.
Whatever. So...
in the case of this one, standard is a sort of one of the split tournaments where it's both, they're playing standard constructed and also playing limited. Which can be kind of limiting for our ability to just go, well, these are the 8 best decks, since that's not necessarily the case.
I did not know that.
That they were splitting it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think it's weird that it's a split format before. They're also going to be doing different limited in the other ones as a result, too.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like, as it says here, after 13 rounds of Swiss, including 2 drafts and 7 rounds of standard, 8 players moved to the top 8. So.
Oh, okay. So there must have been a draft on day 2. Got it.
Yeah.
All right then. Excuse me. So, for some reason, the only coverage we could find is the U.S. Nationals.
Yeah.
And so I guess congrats to Dylan Brown. But given that there are a lot of Nationals and not a lot of time to cover them all, and we can't actually find the coverage for any of them but the U.S. this time, we're just going to stop there. We are going to leave a link in the show notes to the Nationals Premier Play page on the Wizards website, in case links or something show up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to just bias the coverage of something that's taking place across several countries to just ours. And we're obviously not going to spend time on every single country participating. So in the interest of fairness, follow the first link in the show notes to see what happened in the US and take a look at the other one to see when the other events are scheduled, which countries are going when, and I guess keep an eye out in case they post more, because presumably they would link it from there, but I don't know where else they would put it if they're not putting it on like main coverage pages like they did for the US one. So we'll see.
Yeah, but for the record, the countries for this week were, as Bill found earlier, Bulgaria, Ecuador, Canada, Singapore, the US, and Costa Rica. And for the next one, there's a lot. Wow. The next one is the weekend of July 21st, and it's Austria, Scotland, Wales, Australia, France, Indonesia, the Netherlands, the Philippines, Poland. Wait, where does it stop? Here we go. Poland, Portugal, the Russian Federation, Thailand, and the Dominican Republic. Wow. These are more than 3 weekends.
Yeah, I thought they only had 3 in there before, but you're right.
Looks like there's 4.
Yeah, the dates that we have here on the listing are like the weekend of June 30th, the weekend of July 21st, the weekend of August 11th, and the weekend of August 18th, and the weekend of September 8th. This is way more spread out than I thought. Okay.
Oh, there's 5. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Keep an eye out. Odds are if you're going to these events, because they are, invitation only, that you know this. But for the rest of us, just if you want to see which, events are going on in your country or in other countries that you're keeping an eye on, I guess keep an eye on the schedule, because they're not going to post them on the website, apparently. If anything really cool came out of any of these events, let me know on Twitter, because I'm curious. But in the absence of actual information telling me what went down at each of them, I'm going to have to rely on you guys.
Yeah, and remember, this is since this is nationals, this feeds into the World Magic Cup.
Yeah.
So these do have lasting consequences, I guess is the right word.
This is like a tournament of mini bosses before you go on to the next stage.
Ah. Oh, is this the boss rush at the beginning of the Wily stage?
A little bit. Well, I like to think that this is actually just like these are the bosses that you have to fight, like robot master battles. And then the boss rush is when you actually get to Worlds, and you have to fight your way through day 1.
Gotcha.
Where you might encounter people who look suspiciously like others you fought on your way to get here. With the same move sets, but you've got limited resources. What I'm saying is that Magic is a video game. With a good soundtrack.
Sure. We'll go with that. And some people apparently are complaining that you don't get enough rewards for beating the boss. So let's move on.
Fair enough.
The other big thing making waves in the Magic community at the end of last week was the Silver Showcase. Which, you remember the beta draft that everyone loved and lost their minds over and how great it is?
I remember it like it was only last week.
I couldn't remember if it was last week or the week before, but...
It was Vegas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that last week?
Feels like it.
Oh, okay then. So, the Silver Showcase is a Rochester draft where the players will open 3 packs of beta, 1 pack of Arabian Nights, 1 pack of Antiquities, and 1 pack of Legends per player, because it's a Rochester draft.
Yeah.
So this is some old school insanity here. And yeah, this is going to be Thursday, August 2nd, the afternoon before the Pro Tour. Let's see, the single elimination rounds will take place after the conclusion of each day of competition for the Pro Tour 25th anniversary, with the quarterfinals taking place Friday evening, the semifinals Saturday evening, and the finals Sunday morning. Interesting.
Way to draw that out.
Well, yeah.
Got to build the hype.
So, this is an 8-player invitational tournament for a $150,000 prize payout. The first 4 players are the top lifetime pro point earners from each geo region as of the conclusion of Pro Tour Dominaria. So, our top 4, those 4 players are Raphael Levy, Shuhei Nakamura, John Finkel, and Paulo Vitor Damaderosa. You know, what you'd expect.
Yeah, that would probably be my guess for each of those areas.
Yeah.
Like, these are not curveballs.
So then, the other 4 players are essentially celebrities. It's sort of like a pro-am that other sports do. Like, are you familiar with the concept of a pro-am, Bill?
I am.
It's where you get, like, the professionals and amateurs, usually celebrities, it seems, when they're highly publicized and small, like this. And
yeah, it's like that time that Kenny McCormick was in a Magic tournament, only they actually show up.
It's sorta, yeah. So the other 4 players are Brian Kibler, you know, Magic Hall of Famer.
That guy.
Yeah, been around forever.
Has his own Google.
Has his own Google, exactly. Stanislav Sivka, who won Pro Tour Return to Ravnica with eggs.
Yeah, that's a taste that doesn't ever really leave your mouth.
David Williams, who has been playing Magic at a high level for actually ever. And then Jason Chan, who is Amaz, who is a Twitch streamer who Wizards seems to have taken an interest in lately. And like they give him a special invite to the Pro Tour in Kyoto 2017, which is weird because it says his first Pro Tour was in Kyoto in 2017, but it doesn't mention the name of the Pro Tour that they're so hot to... Remember when they rebranded the Pro Tours?
They started putting names on them?
Name of the set? Yeah. It was Pro Tour Hour of Devastation.
Yeah.
But I had to click the link to get that. It's very strange that they didn't put the name.
Yep.
So yeah, there you go. There are your 8 competitors. And yeah, they'll be Rochester Drafting, Beta Antiquities, Arabian Nights, and what was the other one? Legends.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a $150,000 prize pool. And there you go. The cards will be donated to Child's Play to be auctioned off later that year. So that goes to charity. So that's nice.
Yep. It also means that you get to watch people drafting in a format where the value of the cards, though ridiculous, does not matter.
It's true. So rather than going, yeah, I'll just take the duel, they have to actually, take...
If they're not running those colors, they might not.
Yeah, I have to take the cards that will actually help. So that'll be nice.
Yeah.
But that's all of the objective information.
Yeah, it'll be streamed on Twitch, so you will get to watch with all of your most rude friends that you don't actually know.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But when this announcement was made, the Magic community exploded.
With joy and enthusiasm?
Not as such.
Oh.
Yeah, the Twitter especially, I don't Reddit, so I can only imagine what that was like. But Twitter was just full of hate and vitriol and jealousy and us versus them. Lots of just negativity from the pro Magic players. Like a lot of them. Like such top level pros who usually are the ones you see on the side of not being a bunch of douchebags. We're just wantonly bitching and moaning about this tournament's existence. And, yeah, it wasn't a good look for those of us that aren't Magic or pro Magic players, and those of us that aren't like fanboys of pro Magic players.
It's not a good look at your community when you're complaining about an event that is essentially a charity event. I mean, there's a lot going on in it, but there's a charity aspect to it, so you have to have some really good arguments to be against it.
And the main argument was these people are going to make more money than us. Straight up.
Yeah, as I saw it, there were comparisons to how much it cost and pays out to go to Grand Prix and Pro Tour events by comparison to the people that will be attending this event. And there will be 8 of them, and they will be getting prizes ranging from 12.5K to 35K.
Yeah. And now, I understand where the some of the pros were coming from, sort of. Like, there have been complaints about the payouts for the big tournaments, especially Grand Prix, a lot here lately. So I think the low payouts compared to other types of, well, mainly esports tournaments have been sort of weighing on pros' minds. But to come out and condemn a big PR move / charity event openly, just smacking the people in the face who, are responsible for paying your winnings, seems like a bad look. Like, it just didn't feel... And
so,
like, the lot of the complaints that I saw, and I have this tendency to pare down a lot of complaints in the Magic community to, this is different and I don't like it. Like, you remember the whole new logo thing? All of the complaints essentially boil down to, it's different and I hate change.
Mm-hmm.
The pros' complaints mostly seem to boil down to, I want that money, why can't I have that money? And it really made them all look bad, like, from an outsider. You want to feel free to jump in here with anything you got.
So, no, I get you. I just wanted to make sure you got a chance to say that part first. So, my mindset for a lot of this is that, make no mistake, if the cards in this are being donated to Child's Play, a widely known charity, there is, at the root of this, a public relations event. The goal of this is to both show the world that Magic cares, or Wizards of the Coast cares, and to raise the profile of the game beyond some of the potentially negative stereotypes we might have. And so this wasn't put out there as an alternative to the Grand Prix or an alternative to Pro Tours. This is an invitation-only event, so it's not like, oh, I wish I'd qualified for that. Like, no. They're doing this as a PR thing. They're paying people a lot of money because they want it to be big. They want to get reach. That's what you do. This is PR budget. Mind you, the purpose of the Grand Prix and the Pro Tour and all these other big events is also to advertise the game. And they are going about it across a variety of different ways, and not all of them are going to involve financing the life of a Magic Pro. Like, just like how you're not getting a piece of the action when they decide that they want to make an advertisement, it's like you're not getting any of that money. This is an advertisement that happens to involve some people you know who are going to get money for doing it. If your main approach to Wizards doing something is that they did an action that doesn't directly give me an opportunity to benefit, then you're going to be disappointed. And that applies to any company doing anything.
Ever.
That's not how it works. If you are one of the people who are one of these pros and you are trying to, live the dream, like, do they still call it, like, getting on the train? They still do that? I don't think that's been used in a while. Getting in that magical chain where you can continue to play Magic professionally and have that be your source of income and live on it and run with it forever. Yeah, this isn't benefiting you, but it's not for you. And if the fact that it's not for you feels like a threat to your livelihood, you should probably consider finding other sources of income, because your livelihood is probably not in a stable place if you need Wizards to put all of their marketing effort into getting you potential money. That's just not a sustainable business model. And you should know that, because at this point you're running your own business.
Now, to be fair, the vast majority of the high-level pros have income elsewhere, whether it be content creation of some sort or whatever.
Content creation, sponsorships, like running their own identity as their brand.
Yeah.
Like, that is huge. And that said, you probably shouldn't damage your brand by being too critical of things that don't directly benefit you.
That was
throwing that out there as a free bit of marketing advice.
So yeah, all of the heavily, like, the problem I have with this is that, okay, of these 8 players, 7 of them are definitely Magic people. People are like, well, Kibler abandoned the game for Hearthstone. No. Kibler decided he didn't want to travel the damn world all the time to scrape out a living, and he found another way to do it.
Yeah.
Besides,
and you still know who Kibler is.
I don't think he quit Magic for Hearthstone. It seems like he stopped playing Magic because he got a job as a game designer for, I forget the name of the company, and then he left that and started Hearthstone streaming. But I suppose I could be wrong about that. Maybe he was still playing Magic while working for the game design company designing... I can't even remember the name of the damn game now, because I never played it, so it didn't affect me. But, but like, there was a lot of, why do they let these Hearthstone people come in and take our money? As if Stan Sifka and Brian Kibler and David Williams, there was 3 Hearthstone streamers and a professional poker player, as if they haven't been playing Magic for, like, ever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
Like, they're like outsiders. Like, I can almost understand the complaint about Amaz, because, like I said, he's only been remotely, what's the word I'm looking for here? Connected to Magic for, like, a year. And that seems to be vaguely, like, promotional. Hey, you, Hearthstone guy, start showing off our game, would you? Start hyping our game, which, is fine.
I mean, that's what I would do if I were in their marketing position.
Exactly, yeah.
You acquire people that have access to audiences you don't currently have.
Exactly.
The sad fact of the matter is 7 of the 8 people on this list are people that already know about Magic and pay attention to Magic. That's what it is. This is targeting other people too.
Yeah, now, we're not saying that the Silver Showcase is a perfect entity. Like, there have been lots of questions about, well, if this is PR, then who's it for? Because you're not going to get new, like, the Hearthstone crowd in by doing a Rochester draft of old-ass cards. Well, shut up. It doesn't matter what it's for. Who are you to do a cost-benefit analysis for Wizards of the Coast? How about shut up and watch it, or don't? Like...
I mean, like, there are a lot of reasons to take a marketing action. They are not all, this will immediately lead to revenue. Sometimes it's brand recognition. Sometimes it's showing the world that you care, and that actually is worth a lot. Like, we're currently in the realm of identity politics when it comes to businesses. If your company doesn't look like it cares about things, people will leave it. This is something I can tell you professionally is the case. And if it's not that they're like, oh, well, if we have this one random guy who plays Hearthstone on, then people stop playing Hearthstone and start playing Magic. It's not that. It's, look, we're doing this. We're doing something that we think is important. Isn't it cool that Magic has celebrities? Maybe if you vaguely care about Magic, but you mainly watch Hearthstone, you might also want to watch Magic once in a while. Here's some, big names to let you know that we've got a long history of this. If you want to get into that, it's there. It's very easy to take one of your 8 slots for this event and throw it out there. And even if the return on investment isn't amazing, it's still something. And it's more than you would get by just having an 8th random super famous Magic person that we already know. I could come up with a list of 30 people that you could slot into there that people would be more okay with, but would bring absolutely nothing to Magic because we already have those people. They're here for all the other ones.
Exactly. Like,
marketing is fun.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Can you name, off the top of your head, a current high-ranking golf pro?
Like, at this exact moment, high-ranking golf pro?
Yeah, someone who's at the top of the standings in golf.
I don't at all know the current top of the standings, but I know that they spent a lot of time and energy making me associate golf with Tiger Woods.
Exactly. So, do you think that the weekly PGA whatever nonsense, Tiger Woods, doesn't make the cut to the final day, do you think they're still following him around on the television coverage before he doesn't make the cut on the final day? I bet they are.
I guess so.
And if he does make the final day and is like in a spot to where he might win, $5 says his picture is plastered all over the final day's like TV coverage, whether he's doing well or not.
Yes.
And also, if you're doing a big like charity thing and Tiger Woods is gonna be there, don't you think lots of mainstream people would be like, oh wow, look at that, Tiger's playing golf. Lots of people don't even know that Tiger's playing golf again. Which he is, by the way. My old man watches a lot of golf, so when I go hang out with the parents, I end up watching some golf.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like that. If you do a big, like, charity celebrity thing, you don't go get... see, I watched golf just a few weekends ago with the old man, and I can't think of any names off the top of my head.
The Ghost of Arnold Palmer.
Sure, yeah, that's actually what I was drinking earlier, was some Arnold Palmer half and half. But
some delicious Ghost, awesome.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, you get names that people know. So, like, people outside... Yeah, people outside of Magic don't give a quarter of a damn who Eric Froelich or Owen Turtenwald are. But people outside of Magic know who Brian Kibler and Stan Sifka are. It's a simple thing. If you want to get the word out to people that aren't just Magic people, you can't bring in a bunch of Magic pros, because no one outside of Magic gives a quarter of a damn. Like, if this was, like, the top 8 Magic players ever, and you had Gab Nassif and Kai, and insert 2 other huge names here, then only Magic people would care.
Yeah. That's very true.
It's like Worlds. Like, it's the top 16
We have tournaments
however...
that have these people, and no one outside of Magic cares.
Exactly. So if you want to reach outside of Magic, you have to... And I'm sorry we're ranting about this for so long, but I'm really not sorry, because this is some crap that needs to be said.
This ties into a lot of things that go on when the community gets upset about stuff, and one of the key recurring elements that we have to bring up regularly is that not everything Wizards does is for you. They have other goals. Some products are not for everyone. Some tournaments are not for everyone. Some big events are not for everyone.
Yeah, do you remember when Command Tower was printed and like Legacy players were like, well, it doesn't do anything in Legacy even though it's Legacy legal? Shut up.
Yeah.
Do you know how just ridiculous of a statement that is? Shut your stupid face. It's that level of just meh.
Or it's like complaining that there aren't good cards in dual decks. Because, I mean, not that we have dual decks anymore, but, you know, they weren't purchased so that you could fill out all of the cards you need for your standard deck. They were purchased so that you could play them with someone else in a chill environment. Like, starter decks are not made for everyone. You don't necessarily go and buy Commander product to get cards for your Legacy deck. Like, you could, but it's not really the purpose of that product.
There is that one card in every freaking Commander set that you do that
That's
for.
just a mess with Cluze, and we both know.
Like, what was the other? Containment Priest? Was that a Commander card? I think it was.
Probably. Like how Conspiracy has, like, a card that someone will care about, and it will find its way somewhere. This will keep happening, just to mess with Cluze.
But that's not its purpose.
No, that is not the goal.
So... there's a lot of entitlement in Magic players specifically, and in like fandoms more generally. And if everyone would just take a minute, step back, and think, is it possible that this isn't solely for me? Maybe the world would be a slightly better place.
I also promise you will be happier when you can go, oh, that's not for me, and then move on to focusing on things that are for you. This is just like a basic life tip. If something doesn't target you, it doesn't affect you negatively, and it doesn't in any way, shape, or form, like, draw away from what you need, accept that it's for someone else, and go ahead. This goes for movies you think are bad. This goes for celebrities you don't care about. Just, they don't matter. There's stuff you do care about. Spend your energy on that.
Hey, Bill, you know what really pisses me off? Doctor Who Funko Pop Final things. Because I hate Doctor Who. And I think they shouldn't do that, and instead they should make some other... Funko already makes freaking everything in pop, but still, some other thing...
You found the hardest possible example there.
I did, yeah, but some
You're
other...
like, I wish Funko made,
got it.
Hogs.
Wrinkle in Time Funko Pop, they probably did, but just in case.
Movie, yeah.
They instead of making Doctor Who ones, because I don't like Doctor Who, that pisses me off. Let's get on Twitter and rant about. Shut up.
You've turned into that guy in every game store that you hate because he's always complaining about stuff you've never heard of. Stop. Don't be him.
And to be fair, I don't like Doctor Who at all, which is why I came up with that. But I also don't care about Funko Pop vinyls. So, but anyway. Yeah. I'm sure the people that loved and just went insane over how great the beta draft was are gonna love this if they will just get off their high horse and watch the damn tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure it'll be a great show, because it's happening at the Pro Tour where coverage is always the best.
Yeah.
So...
and here's a hint. You were never going to be invited to this in that 8th slot. I promise, if you're listening to this show, you were not getting invited. If I am wrong and you happen to be the 8th most important Magic player ever, let me know you listen to the show. I'd like to know that.
Yeah, Mr. Nassif, we're so happy that you listen.
We would be wonderfully happy to have you come on here and tell us that we are wrong. I would love that. But in the meantime, if you're the guy who got 3rd at your game day, it wasn't going to be you.
Yeah, and if you're a current Magic Pro, no one outside of your current crop of friends and fans gives a damn who you are. Sorry.
And threatening to stop and go play Hearthstone full-time just tells me that you're going to go play a game that I'm not paying attention to. So, okay. Go for it.
Yeah, like, the people seem to think that Kibler and Stan Sifka just sprung up out of the ground as, like, awesome Hearthstone streamers and didn't have to put in any work or anything.
And that's only one creation myth.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who these people were from before. They already built their identities and they built their brand. And then when Hearthstone came out, they got on that and they brought people with them. That's what you do. These are all people that have built brands around themselves.
Yep. If
you want Wizards to invite you to do cool stuff, focus on building a positive brand and keep at it. And then if Wizards doesn't invite you to stuff, you've still built a positive brand. Not exactly a zero-sum game. You still benefit. And I know I didn't just use zero-sum game correctly, but I'm going to move on anyway.
Yeah, we're just going to ignore that and keep on trucking. Sadly, though, that's it for the normal news.
Yep. Just going to hit you with a few quick fun things from Magic Online. So, per the tradition of the pre-release creeping, or the Magic Online pre-release creeping closer and closer, the Core Set 2019 will be hitting Magic Online on Friday, before the pre-release. Enjoy. The draft leagues will start up on Monday the 9th. So if you have a long weekend because of this weird middle of the week holiday, then you can play Magic Online pre-release before you play paper pre-release. Fun. Also of note, because I said I would point these things out when they are in fact funny, I have a few bug blog updates for you. And the only one that's really funny to me is actually, if you control Platinum Empyrean, you cannot even pay 0 life for costs. And I'm just entertained that they phrased it that way. That's all.
Huh.
Like, they're obviously, like, the effect on the card is your life total can't change. And then your reminder text, it says you can't gain or lose life. You can't pay any amount of life except 0. And so here, in Magic Online, you can't even pay 0. So that's incorrect. Be aware. At present, Platinum Empyrean can't even.
Wow.
And then, the other 2 cards that have stuff, just to mention it. Sunforger doesn't cause you to shuffle your library, which is kind of problematic because it means you search your library and see everything. And, that's a lot of information to have.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah, that's very problematic. Do not take advantage of that. You're a bad person and you could get busted for cheating if you're doing it, obviously. And you shouldn't cheat. And finally, Secret Salvage does not add the cards found from the library to the revealed zone. So if you're not aware, in Magic Online, whenever you have, that effect on the text that says, search for a card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, that gets put into a zone of public information that your opponent can see. Kind of the equivalent of, what I was complaining about with Gitaxian Probe, where it just writes down what the other person has.
Right.
It's apparently not putting those cards in the revealed zone, which is problematic because in addition to the cards saying that, you were supposed to reveal it, Secret Salvage specifically is designed to show that, because that's sort of the drawback on being able to do something cool like this. Exile target non-land card from your graveyard, search your library for any number of cards with the same name as that card, reveal them, put them into your hand. When you have a sufficiently heavy graveyard, it might be hard to tell what went away. So that was kind of a check and balance on it. So be aware that these 3 cards are bugged. You can also go over the giant known issues list. If the card you're playing with in your deck is bugged, maybe don't play that for a little bit till they fix it. If your opponent's taking advantage of anything in this list, you should report them for cheating, because they are. So don't cheat. Play Magic well. I will continue to let you know as the bug blog does funny things. That is your Magic Online news. If you want to keep up with more details on this, they post it every week on Tuesday. You can find it through the Wizards website by going up to the top. And then, I guess I haven't mentioned this since they redid the layout, but if you go to products in the top and then you click on Magic Online under digital, you'll find a list of the most recent stuff. So there you go.
Nice.
I think we're done.
Sounds good.
Cool. So I will start a sign-off adventure. So you can find me on Twitter at SqueeGoblinAbob. There's no Iron Goblin because it went to start its own, Twitch stream where it plays Hearthstone, and I have not seen it since. Maybe it'll come back after it makes it big in the Magic world, because apparently that's how that works now. Beyond that, the rest of me survived going to and essentially running a large chunk of Cosplay America this past weekend. I had a lot of fun. Like, I'm tired, but I had a lot of fun. I got to spend some time with a lot of essentially high-profile guests. it's really entertaining when one of the people that goes to your convention as a guest, you're like, we had her there because she does amazing workshops and teaches people how to do crafty things and all that stuff. And then when it gets out that she's the person who also does those fun Bojangles Twitter things, that takes over every conversation for the rest of the weekend. So
Bojangles?
Did I say Bojangles? That's wrong. I meant Arby's. I'm bad at branding, apparently.
Apparently.
I am tired.
You are.
Bojangles doesn't have good Twitter things. They need to get on that. But yeah, she does the fun Arby's things that you see on Twitter that are references to video games, anime, and everything else. And so it makes sense that one of the people that we bring in to do amazing, craft things does it for a living. But yeah, it was really funny because it meant that we got to show some of our foreign guests the Twitter feed for Arby's and all of the crazy and sometimes obscure things that they do. But I had a lot of fun. I also, over the course of the weekend, got to see clips of the crazy professional level cosplay stuff that gets done in other countries and internationally. Because like for me, most of the conventions I go to, it's, people wear their really awesome outfits around. And then when they do presentations and skits and stuff, it's fun, but it's, on the level of like local theater stuff. And then when I see the pro grade stuff from the people who really focus on this year round, they're like full stage show things with tons of props, things breaking, costumes changing in the middle of fight scenes, cool lighting effects, like actual screens in the background blowing stuff up. It's nuts. And so I'm like, wow, there's this whole world of it that not even I'm paying that close attention to. That's really awesome. So it's fun seeing when people take their hobbies to that next level. And I really appreciate that. But I had fun. I got through that. I didn't die. So far, I'm not sick. We'll see how long that lasts. In other nerd news, I'd like to point out that Ant-Man and Wasp comes out this week. So pretty sure that was this week.
Nice.
I think the whole thing was they were jumping on the 4th of July weekend thing, which is understandable. Yeah, July 5th. So starting this Thursday, they're going to have that out. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I get to go into my MCU hiding spot for a while, since obviously we don't get any more movies till next year. And past that, we now have a hamster in Overwatch. And that makes me laugh.
It is not wrong.
And I've seen the gameplay videos, and they look amazing. I'm going to die so many times trying to play this character.
Actually, Cap was streaming the PTR, I think, later than the night that it was announced.
Yeah.
And I watched him play for a little while. And yeah Wrecking Ball is very strange.
Does not look easy to play. From what I've seen of gameplay videos, it looks like you're trying to be Doomfist and Spider-Man at the same time.
Yeah, it's like Doomfist and Widow and Diva all at once.
And I'm only good at one of those characters.
Yeah, I'm not good at... Well, I'm sort of good at Diva, so yeah.
Yeah. Doomfist is my worst character, so this should be interesting, but the gameplay footage looks like a lot of fun. And watching people react to the announcement has been amazing. Because it's like all of the butthurt from the Magic community focused on this cute little animal. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds right. But I'm entertained by all of this. I'm looking forward to when they eventually release this character. I'm sure Chewie will be streaming, and we will all have a hard time trying to pick the character as usual when something new happens. But
that's okay. For this one, hopefully the No Limits mode will come back for a week so we can all be a hamster.
It'll just turn into Marble Madness.
Yeah, actually it does.
Yeah, I bet.
Listeners, by the way, if you have no idea what we're talking about, look up Overwatch Wrecking Ball and just enjoy.
And if you happen to get a music video, we're sorry. That's not what we're sending you.
That is not, yeah. I came in like a hamster ball. It's going to be my battle cry anytime I'm playing him.
This is a giant robot ball piloted by a super intelligent hamster. And it kind of rolls around like those Star Wars prequel robots. It goes into big armadillo mode and rolls around like Sonic. And then it flips out and just machine guns things. They
weren't destroyers, were they? What were those? They had a name, those ball droids, because every time they show up, it was like, oh god!
Yeah, oh, well. I mostly remember them as being things that showed up in Phantom Menace, and I'm like, those are really cool, and that was the last time I said that in that movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, I've rambled enough for the end of this episode. Have fun on the 4th of July. If you are in America and you're doing stuff, do not blow up your hand. You will miss it. And as we are not all immortal, I would recommend you stay alive. So that's that for me. Should we cut back to Cluze, or do we have no more recordings of him?
No, he just sent us the one.
That's fair.
So I guess that's me then. And yep. I had a really long and terrible day, so I'm going to keep this short. Hey, you can find me all over the internet at the Mana Pool. And by all over, I mean it's freaking everywhere. Twitter is the most used one by far. I'm just always have Twitter handy. So it's the best place to get in touch with me or get my reaction to something or whatever. Also Facebook, also Instagram, also there's the Mana Pool subreddit. I still don't know what to do with that. So if you read it, by all means, let me know. And also all the content goes up on youtube.com/themanapool, where here lately it's been Hearthstone videos. By the way, I'm getting an invite to the next big $150,000 tournament, just so you know, because I've been making Hearthstone content for years. So clearly that means I'm totally gonna be a Magic celebrity. I don't understand the way these pros think. But anyway, there's been lots of Hearthstone laddering from the end of last season, and also a full stream of Viscera cleanup detail. Is a 2.5-hour stream that I did with Steph, where we were playing a 2-player Viscera cleanup detail, running around cleaning things, and I decided to just throw the whole thing up on YouTube, because chopping it up into bits, like nothing happens. It's just us being stupid while we're cleaning stuff.
This is a thing you should run in the background of your home while you're cleaning.
Yeah, actually.
Like, it's you don't have to watch, but you'll occasionally turn around when they go, hey, look at this, because, you know, they're actually telling you when there's something worth looking at because they're talking to each other. Like, I think when you were streaming it, I was doing the dishes or something, but I had it on my TV. And I'm like, yeah, that works. It's actually not a bad way to clean your home.
Nice.
Because you'll be like, as messy as my place is, it doesn't have gore stuck in the ceiling.
Yeah, there are not dead bodies everywhere. And bits of intestines. And hey, look, a jawbone. I said that once, and Steph's response was, cool! Because Steph is, in fact, the best.
And that sums up the two of them very succinctly.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I tried to do some editing, and it just wasn't working.
No.
And I was like, you know what? Just throw the whole stream up. Screw it. So that's what it is on YouTube. Over on Twitch, I've been having a lot of fun since I've altered my approach to streaming, and streaming a lot more things a lot more frequently. So a few nights ago, or a week ago, I don't remember now, I did a mass murder stream where I streamed a game called Party Hard, where the objective is to it's a pixel art game, so it's all very like Nintendo-ish and or Super Nintendo-ish, and the objective is to kill everyone at the party without getting caught through various means, stabbing, traps, explosions, you know, whatever.
Sure.
Sometimes the SWAT team comes in and just beats people to death and then leaves, and you're like, thanks for the help. It's a very strange game.
Someone?
That's what someone in my chat was like, oh my god, they just got swatted. Like, I guess that's weird. There was like a drug deal going on. I saw it during, I downloaded the stream to put up during editing. I'm going to edit some of this and it'll go up on YouTube at some point. But after, also enabled the Twitch integration so the chat could help or harm as they saw fit. But after the mass murder on a small scale got to be kind of boring, which it wasn't kind of boring, but it wasn't enough, I switched over to a game called Plague Inc. and proceeded to mass murder on a global scale. Because Plague Inc. is a game where you are indirectly, through evolution and whatnot of its traits, controlling a plague that is wiping out... The goal is to wipe out all of mankind. And like in my first one, I accidentally killed everyone that had the virus or the bacteria, I guess, before they were all infected. So I wiped out the entire world except for 1,900 and some, 924, I think was the number, people. So I lost, because you have to get them all. In another later one, I got the entire world except for Greenland, because Greenland is notoriously hard to get an infection in this game. So I wiped out the entire world except for Greenland, and so I failed. But it was a lot of fun to be essentially like a point-and-click game with there's no fancy graphics or anything, but it was so much fun. Not just for me, like the chat was having fun too. It was really cool. So I'm totally going to stream it some more. But the greatest thing about the game is that you get to name your plague.
Ooh.
Yeah, so when I won with a bacteria... Hey, Bill, I'm going to send you a picture. Could you read that for me?
Oh, victory. I guess you want me to read the rest of it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to read it in epic newscaster voice. Victory. White people has successfully eliminated all life on Earth. Okay?
Because I named my plague White People.
Of course you did.
And then the second time I won was with a virus. And would you like to read this one now?
Victory. Boredom has successfully eliminated all life on Earth. Okay.
It's a lot of fun. The ability to just name your plague adds such a level of comedy to it that it makes it all worthwhile. Like, I named one Fuzzy Slippers. Fuzzy Slippers did not even come close to destroying the world.
That's fair.
I named one Gross Feet because I was using the fungus. Gross Feet didn't destroy the world either. It was kind of sad. It didn't even get close.
I mean, these are the limits.
But it's so much fun. That will also, I think the 2 successful runs will probably end up going up on YouTube as well, just because it's so great. I love it.
I kind of feel like the thing where you just want to name a celebrity because it says has. So, you could go with the obvious ones, like ones you actually expect to eliminate all life, like Shia LaBeouf has successfully eliminated all life on Earth. But I bet you could find some pretty funny, more subtle ones. Like, the ghost
Savage.
of Fred Rogers.
I went with Fred Savage. Fred Savage has eliminated all life on Earth.
You got a 50-50 shot with that one.
Anyway.
There's more than one Savage.
Oh, yeah. Of the 2, I think Fred is probably more likely, though. Yeah, it's a good point.
I like to pretend that Fred Savage and Randy Savage are related. It's more fun that way.
Oh, my God.
Carry on. I'm drawing it out.
Also over on Twitch, I recently completely finished Batman Arkham Asylum.
You did?
I did the story mode on another, over like 3 or 4 streams. On the next stream, I did the Predator mode, which is a lot of fun. And then last night, I did the combat challenges, which were less fun.
Yeah.
But
I suspect that was as frustrating as I remember.
I got not up until the last 3, but there were only 8. So the last 2 actually were the real bad ones. Namely what was it called? Shock and Awe, the extreme version, because there's a time limit, which
that's frustrating.
So yeah, I spent a long time on that. There's lots of swearing, lots of anger, but yeah. So now 100%ed it. There were 2 achievements I didn't get. I didn't beat it on hard because I really don't want to go through it again. And I didn't beat a Titan without using a Batarang because I don't know how to do that. Because it tells you, hey, there's a Titan. When it charges, hit it with a Batarang and then beat on it. And you can't beat on it if you didn't hit it with a Batarang because it just swats you aside.
Can you use other things?
Apparently you can stun them with explosive gel. I did some research.
Yeah, I was thinking because you played through the game not getting the motion activated explosive gel, that might have been nearly impossible for you.
Yeah, I think what you could do is set a spot where he's behind you, and then when he charges, dodge out of the way, and when he stops before he hits the wall, you blow it, and he gets he gets stunned. I think that works in Arkham Asylum.
I don't remember what worked in Asylum versus City.
Yeah, but all told, I've beaten everything in the game except for those 2 achievements. One of which I could do, but it's really it's long for one achievement just to beat it again on hard.
Yeah,
I don't feel like doing that. And the other one, I suppose I could just do to do, but it's not like the achievements matter. So,
no, it's fine.
So the next time I stream a Batman game, it will be Arkham City, which of the 2 that I've played, Asylum and City, is by far my favorite in every conceivable way. So I can't wait to do that.
Yeah.
So yay, that's an update for what's been going on Twitch, in addition to the usual Hearthstone and Overwatch, whatnot. So, Right.
Maniple.
Yeah. If you want to help support what I do with all of this insane amount of content creation, the most direct way to do that is on Patreon at patreon.com/themanapool, where you can get Manapool episodes and YouTube videos early. You can get the early stuff and the odds and ends, all the stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Manapool, which is uncensored and unfiltered, and it's us just being us, but more so. And if you're feeling exceptionally generous, you can become a Manapool lifeguard, which gets you the early stuff, the odds and ends, and the shout out on both podcasts, and your name will be on the end slate for all the videos that go up each month you support at that tier. And so I'd like to thank Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Paul David, Lance Delicious, Team U, Hellas How Are You, John Morris, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Bosco Brittain, Casey, Nathan Hay, Danny Liao, Jason Doan, AJ Javieris, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, John Parker, Dan Holm, Bartle, Mike Millerburn, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. Whew. Thank you all so very much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. And to all of my other patrons as well. I love you all so much, because you make it possible for me to do what I do. So with that, I guess I'll be done. Right? That's everything. Yeah.
AOL keyword Manapool.
The Manapool.
The Manapool.
Get it right. So, AOL keyword's still a thing? No, never mind.
No, no, they're not.
This has been Monday Night Magic number 613. Thank you all so very much for listening. And go play some Magic.